in Fort Kent is now convened. You may take your seats, please. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, family, friends, faculty, staff, students, and distinguished members of the stage party. Good afternoon and welcome to the University of Maine at Fort Kent. As we begin today's ceremony, I would like to recognize in the audience some very special friends of UMFK. I'm sure I'll miss some as my eyes survey the sea of faces out here. But I wish to know, first and foremost, my wife Barbara, my daughters Hannah and Sadie in the front row, Paul Bouchard's brother Harold and his wife Evelyn are here with us today, generous benefactors of UMFK, and many members of the Bouchard family, and I welcome you all. Leola Bouchard, Paul's wife, wasn't expected to be here, and I'm glad to see that you are. Representative Steve Stanley of Millinocket, I saw earlier. Representative Doug Ahern, Madawaska. I see Sandy McIntyre, Vice Chair of our Board of Visitors, Jim Toto, member of the Board of Visitors at UMFK, and several others who will begin to count. Thank you all for being with us today. In a period in history where time has taken on new meaning as a precious commodity, where we complain we have to wait even a moment or two for a fax to go through, or for an ATM to service us. The reality of the fact that we have been doing this at UMFK for 117 years really needs to be digested to be appreciated. As many of you know, my office walls are covered with pictures of graduating classes, athletic teams, group faculty photos, often with all 5 or 6 faculty members present, because that's all we had back in some of those years. And similar memorabilia reminding all who see them of the impact that UMFK has had on both French and English-speaking families on both sides of the river throughout the St. John Valley, the state of Maine, New England, the nation, and Canada. It is with great pride for UMFK that I welcome you here today to continue this tradition of recognizing our graduates as they commence life after their academic preparation. As they receive their degrees today, I promise that we will never forget them. We are, as an institution, as fiercely loyal to our alumni as they are to us. It gives me great pleasure at this time to call upon the Honorable Senator Michael H. Michaud to bring greetings from the Governor and the people of the state of Maine. Senator Michaud.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lyons, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, parents, and friends. It's a great pleasure to be here this afternoon to present and represent the Maine State Legislature and to wish graduates the very best. You are the best example of how important education is. Your success, your commitment, and dedication are the reasons you are here today, and the reason that the state of Maine is in good hands tomorrow. While you sit here today, you are remembering times in the past, and justly so. But I'm telling you also, look to the future. To all of the choices and challenges, and even more importantly, the successes will await you. Take with you the experience you have gained and the education that you have received, and make a difference in the world. Set out to accomplish your goals, to achieve your dreams, and to fulfill your potential. Use the same determination and commitment that brought you here today to bring yourself to new heights. I have no doubt as I look amongst all of you that you will all receive what you go after. I have no doubt that great things lies ahead of you and for Maine and the nation. Because if you are any indication of the future for this state, that, my friends, the future looks very good. Good luck and Godspeed. Go out into the world with confidence for the determination that you have shown at UMFK and the courage to make a difference. And the rewards will follow you. You will make your friends, your family very proud of you. And you will become the pride of the state of Maine, the United States, and Canada. You are the future, and I think the future looks bright by looking at the graduates here today. I'd like to close by telling a story. There's a woman who was waiting in the Midwest airport for her next flight. The flight was delayed an hour. She became bored and restless, so she was walking around the airport terminal. She had bought a bag of Mrs. Fields cookies and returned to her seat. At that point, she noticed there was a man from Maine sitting next to her with a small table between them. She knew he was from Maine because on his luggage tag, his address was Fort Kent, Maine. She had heard a lot about the people of the state of Maine, and it was a very bad impression that she had. She didn't want to say anything to her. A little while later, she looked over and took a cookie out of the bag that was on the table next to her. A few minutes later, out of the corner of her eye, she saw the man from Maine reach over, and he took a cookie. Without asking, or saying please, or thank you. She was thoroughly disgusted by his actions and almost complained that she didn't want to speak up because she figured it would cause a scene. A little while later, she took another cookie, and he took another cookie. So all the cookies were gone except for one. The fellow from Maine reached in and took the last cookie. He broke it in half and offered her half the cookie. Now she was really upset. Not only was the fellow a cookie thief, but he was also handling her food. She was mad and almost said something, but she did not want to get into a conversation with the fellow from Maine, so she kept her mouth shut. Then they called her flight. So she got up, grabbed the empty cookie bag, and threw it angrily in the garbage can along with her half the cookie. She never even looked at the fellow from Maine, never spoke to him. She walked quietly to her gate, got on the plane, and took her seat. As the plane was backing away from the terminal, and she was putting her carry-on baggage underneath the seat, the bag fell over, and out came her bag of cookies. She never did get a chance to say thank you from the fellow from Maine for sharing his cookies with her, but she learned a valuable lesson that day. In life, we are often faced with choices of being right and of being kind. I think in the future that women from the Midwest may choose to be kind, as the fellow from Maine did, as he so generously shared his cookies with her. And I hope whenever you are faced with a choice of being right or kind, that you will choose kindness. I think the world would be a much better place if there was kindness shown. So once again, congratulations and the best of luck in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Michaud. I now call upon James D. Mullen, Vice Chair of the University of Maine System Board of Trustees, to bring reading from the board.
President Lyons, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished guests, families, alumni, very soon-to-be graduates, it is my honor, privilege, and pleasure to offer congratulations to all of you from the University of Maine System Board of Trustees. We are very proud of each and every one of you. I would like to share a couple of thoughts with you today that may require a bit of reflection, a bit of introspection, and a bit of thought as you look forward to what the future may hold for you. Let me start by suggesting that you have just gone through one of the most unique educational experiences in this state, and perhaps in this country. I say that because not only have you received a first-class education, but you've done so in the unique setting of the beautiful St. John Valley. I first visited Fort Kent about 30 years ago when I was a student at the University of Maine in Orono. My college roommate, Jim Thibodeau, was a native of Fort Kent, and he and I have remained good friends ever since, and I have come here regularly ever since that time. And why I say your experience here has been unique is because much about this community has not changed in the 30 years I've been here. And I'm not just talking about Rock's Motel or BJ's. I'm referring to the sense of pride in the community, the friendliness, the heritage, the work ethic, the wonderful sense of humor, the loyalty, dedication, and other qualities that represents the foundation of a system of values that will influence you through the rest of your lives. And against this backdrop, you have enjoyed an education that has kept pace with the rapidly changing world. A world that in many ways bears very little resemblance to life in the St. John Valley. And as I sat in a seat similar to yours about 25 years ago, I thought I'd pretty much learned everything I needed to know to meet the challenges of what at the time seems to me to be a world whose changes I was on top of. To show you how wrong I was, let me ask a simple question. How many of you own, have access to, or at least can operate a personal computer? Well, I suspect it's most of you. Now let me ask you, how many of you own or know how to use a slide rule? The same guy. Well, 30 years ago, I can assure you, there were a lot of slide rules used on this campus, and no personal computers. As a matter of fact, at the time, about the only computer in the entire system was in Orono, and it filled the entire basement of the building there. And I recently read the computers of that era had the same capacity as the computer chip used in last Christmas's popular toy, the Furby doll. And when I sat in your seats 25 years ago, there were no cell phones, no fax machines, no pagers, no internet. As a matter of fact, the closest thing we had to even an automatic garage door opener was a piece of rope tied to the handle. The point of all that is to assure you that you will be faced with changes and challenges that you have no way of anticipating as you sit here today. And what you have learned here will probably be not nearly as important as the fact that you have learned how to learn. And I assure you that the values you have absorbed from the environment around you here will be equally as important to you. As you think about what challenges may lay ahead for you, let me add two specific challenges for you. Whether you realize it or not, one of the reasons that this institution is as good as it is because many people, just like yourselves, who were here before you, have contributed their time, energy, and money to ensure that this school maintains its tradition of excellence. The responsibility to give something back falls upon all of us. Whether we decide to do anything about that is an individual choice. But think of it this way. If the people who came before me didn't help this institution, where would I be today? And if I don't help even a little bit, what will be here for future generations? It's up to all of us, so I challenge you to do your part, no matter how small or how large, to give your time, your energy, your support, and when you can, your money, to enable those who follow behind you to experience the excellence in education that you have benefited from. My second challenge to you. Think about what opportunities there will now be in your life as a result of receiving your degree here today. And contrast that with how those opportunities would have been limited had you not pursued this education? And think about the doubts you've had along the way. Can I make it? Am I smart enough? How will I afford it? How will I find the time to accomplish this? And now realize that somehow you did it. So my second challenge is for you to use your own experience to encourage someone else to do the same. Be a mentor, be a role model, and encourage someone else. By attending the University of Maine at Fort Kent and receiving your degree, you now have what I like to call access to opportunity. Give someone else that access to opportunity by encouraging him or her to do what you have just done. Use yourself as the example for others to follow. Others who may have the same self-doubts that you once had. And that makes it real easy to relate to. So those are my two challenges to you all. Support this place and encourage others to follow in your footsteps. Meet those challenges. Remember your roots here in the St. John Valley. Keep learning in an ever-changing world, and I assure you that you will find that there is even greater personal fulfillment in receiving your degree here today. Again, from the entire membership of the Board of Trustees, congratulations and best wishes to all of you.
Thank you, Trustee Mullen. I now call upon Lloyd E. Susi, President of the UMFK Alumni Association, to bring greetings to the class of 1999.
Thank you, President Lyons. And good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, the class of 99, the last class of this millennium. On behalf of the University of Maine at Fort Kent Alumni Association, I extend to you our warmest and most sincere congratulations upon your successful completion of your respective degree requirements. We commend you as you begin a new chapter in your career plans, whether that might be graduate school, work, volunteer activity, or possibly even the job service. You can rest assured that the University of Maine at Fort Kent has provided you a solid foundation of knowledge to build upon as we enter this 21st century. Use that knowledge to fulfill your goals, your dreams. Don't be afraid of the little frosties or potholes that may be in the way. They are minor. They will only make you a stronger individual. Maximize your energies, your knowledge, into fulfilling your dreams. Dr. Lyons and I both encourage you to become our ambassadors and promote what you now have come to know, the best kept little secret campus in the Northeast, the University of Maine at Fort Kent. We really don't mind if you reveal that secret to others in helping us recruit, not just one for every one that graduates, but possibly 2 or 3. In ending, remember this little advice. Among the things that you can give, yet still keep, are your word, a smile, and a grateful heart. Again, Felicitations et bonne chance. Congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Susi. I now call upon Professor John L. Martin, Assistant Professor of Political Science and Chair of the Faculty, to bring greetings from the faculty to the class of 1999.
Thank you, President Lyons. Mr. President, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, parents, and friends. It really is a pleasure on behalf of the faculty of the University of Maine at Fort Kent to bring you greetings and to thank you for having enriched our lives during your stay on campus. Faculty are always pleased to see students in caps and gowns. It clearly means that the effort of the faculty and staff on campus have been successful. Sidney Smith, who's a linguist and educator at the University of North Carolina, said this about education. The real object of education is to give children resources that will ensure as long as life endures. Habits that time will ameliorate, not destroy. Occupations that will render sickness tolerable, solitude pleasant, age venerable, life more dignified and useful, and death less terrible. What the faculty on this campus has tried to do, and we hope succeeded, was to start you on the road to the development of understanding. Since for anyone to become an educated person, it is necessary for her or his learning to continue throughout the lifetime that follows graduation from college or the university. We hope that the education that you received here at the University of Maine at Fort Kent has given you the introduction to the whole world of learning. Skills will help you to use your mind, to motivate you, to use your knowledge to the best of your ability. The future success will be based on continued learning and creativity. The education that you have received from the faculty at this institution has prepared you to enter the next step of your educational career, as well as the job that you must maintain. That is, of course, to earn money, so that you can continue to learn. And so, on behalf of the faculty, we wish you the best. Visit us often. We'll be watching. Do not forget that we're always here.
I now ask that Professor John L. Martin return to the podium as presenter of the candidate for the award for distinguished service. Please come forward.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, as we reflect on our recipient for the Distinguished Service Award, I am reminded of Benjamin Franklin's secrets of success. I will speak ill of no man, and speak all the good that I know of everybody. The person that we are honoring today is one of those individuals. Paul Boucher, a native of St. John Valley, a graduate of Fort Kent Community High School. Paul holds a Bachelor of Educational degree from Keene State College in Keene, New Hampshire, and a Master's degree in Industrial Technology and Educational Administration from the University of Southern Maine. A true believer that education is the key that goes and gets you to greater heights. Paul has been an educator for 36 years. First as a teacher, then a principal, and then a director, whose entire educational career he has been involved in education. 20 years as principal of Wisdom High School in St. Agatha, the Maine School Administrative District number 33. Then, with the opening of the Tech Center in Frenchville, he became its director, organizing the delivery of technology courses for MS 8027, MS 8033, and Madawaska. Today, close to one-half of the student body in the junior and senior classes from the various high schools participate in programs every single day. It has become, in our opinion, the best center in Maine, and now is recorded as a model for the delivery of technology services for the entire state. This award for public service is given to an individual who's known what public service is all about. A member of the Fort Kent Town Council, a member of the Fort Kent Development Corporation, a member of the Northern Aroostook Regional Airport Authority, appointed to the University of Maine Board of University of Maine Fort Kent Foundation, and recently appointed by the President as one of the original members of the University of Maine and Fort Kent Board of Visitors. He recently decided to go into a business venture here in town. On July 10, 1965, he married Luella Roulette, I should say Lola, and they now have two children, Heather and Craig. And today, two members of his family are here, his twin sister Pauline and brother Harold. I do have one fear, of course, that you know, with all the free time, that he's going to start playing golf. And watch out for those of you in the Fort Kent Golf Course. Be careful, watch the balls fly. This award today for distinguished service is presented by the university community in recognition of what he has done and continues to do for his fellow human beings. It is fitting that the University of Maine at Fort Kent recognize its own who has distinguished themselves. Paul is a product of this valley who has never forgotten his heritage and who lives with a desire to improve the quality of life for all of us. He fits the description that Harry Truman said about leadership. You know what makes leadership? It's the ability to get men to do what they don't want to do and learn to like it. Mr. President, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to present to you Paul Bouchard for our Distinguished Service Award.
Congratulations, Paul. Black reads, the University of Maine at Fort Kent, with gratitude and affection, honors Paul Bouchard for his boundless time, energy, and commitment to the University of Maine at Fort Kent with this award for distinguished service made in 1999. May I ask Representative Doug Ahern to come forward?
It is indeed a great honor to present a legislative sentiment on behalf of the Maine State Legislature to Paul Bouchard, from which I'll read. State of Maine, be it known to all that we, the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, join in recognizing Paul J. Bouchard upon receiving the Distinguished Service Award of the University of Maine at Fort Kent. Mr. Bouchard will retire in June as Director of the St. John Valley Technical Center in Frenchville after 36 years of service in public education. Mr. Bouchard has also been very active in his community, having served on the Fort Kent Town Council and as member of the Fort Kent Development Corporation. He was appointed to the UMFK Foundation in 1996 and was elected as secretary in 1997. In 1997, he was appointed as a member of the UMFK Board of Visitors. Mr. Bouchard is also currently serving as a member of the Northern Regional Airport Authority. We send our congratulations to Mr. Bouchard on this occasion and extend our appreciation to him for his dedicated service. And be it ordered for this official expression of sentiment be sent forthwith on behalf of the legislature and the people of the state of Maine. Signed, the President of the Senate, Mark W. Lawrence, and Speaker of the House, G. Stephen Rowe. Congratulations.
Thank you. Each month during the academic year, we at UMFK choose a Service Champion of the Month for the university. Nomination forms are widely available on campus, and any member of the campus community may nominate any faculty or staff for this special commendation. All nominations are reviewed by the President and the Executive Council, and we seek in particular nominees who demonstrate regularly service to our students, which is what we call ABCD service. That is service which is above and beyond the call of duty. At a small campus such as ours, everyone seems to wear several hats, and everyone works hard just to keep pace. Therefore, our service champions truly deserve the special recognition we have tried to provide for them. I will now read the names of the service champions for 1998-1999. I ask that each stand as your name is read and remain standing until the group is complete. And I please ask you to hold your applause until the entire group is standing. We only have one person absent who's actually working today somewhere on campus for us. So let me read to you the names of this year's service champions. For September, Julie McLaren Toussaint, graduating student in elementary education. For October, Lena Corriveau, administrative assistant in the financial aid office. I'll ask for help when people gets here. Oh, okay, thank you. For November, Leslie Kelly, assistant librarian. The other person who's absent today because she just had a baby in the last week. So we offer her our congratulations on that instead. For December, Professor Janet Murakami, Assistant Professor of Education. For January, Jason Parent, Director of University Relations and Development. Who is working here? There, Jason, thank you. February, Professor Brad Ritz, Associate Professor of Business and Economics. On this platform. And for March, Bob Winnan, Candidate Trade Supervisor, who is not here, I understand, today. Duty. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much. May I ask that the 1999 senior class valedictorian, Jane Marie Matilla, please come forward to address the senior class.
Mr. President, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, parents, family, and friends, it is an honor to be part of this wonderful celebration today. Most of you do not recognize me because I did not get to experience the great atmosphere of UMFK. I was a distance learner. I envy those of you who are on campus full time, but I found that being a distance learner was a very rewarding experience. Through collaboration and technology, I was able to complete my RN to BSN through UMFK without having to drive farther than my local communities. I had the opportunity to take courses from Southern Maine, Orono, Fort Kent, and Presque Isle, and share knowledge and experiences with students from all over the state of Maine. The faculty and staff support was friendly and amazing, especially the nursing department here in Fort Kent. I found distance education to be very accommodating to my job and my home life. I was very fortunate to have had the chance to finish my degree through distance learning. And not only did I receive a more enriched education, but I was saved from the long scenic drive from Caribou every day. Distance learning facilitated my pursuit of a degree, but what truly motivated me was my love of reading and learning, which I acquired growing up in a family that loved to read. My parents encouraged us to read and took us to the local library regularly. I consider this love of reading a true gift. Literacy groups work to eliminate illiteracy, but there is another problem in our communities that we can fix right in our own homes. That is illiteracy. Those who know how to read but do not. As you are pursuing your career goals, take time to develop a love of learning in others. Read to your children and give books as gifts. Take a child to the library, and who knows, maybe one day that child will be sitting in a graduation class like this. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you.
Thank you, Jane. May I ask that the 1999 senior class salutatorian, Cynthia R. Maya Bernstein, please come forward to address the senior class.
Dr. Lyons, member of the faculty, administrators, family, friends, and most especially my fellow graduates. As I stand here today, I ask myself, what have I learned at the University of Maine at Fort Kent? I remember studying some psychology, economics, anthropology, English, and even some math. However, the knowledge we have acquired at the University of Maine at Fort Kent will be fruitless unless we decide to do something with it. The biggest lesson I take with me is that of social responsibility. Today's world is characterized by rapid and constant change. Families are mobile and often live states, countries, and even continents apart. We are constantly bombarded with negative views of the world in which we live. Poverty, discrimination, alienation, abuse, corruption, and war are common topics of our conversations and part of our everyday life. I believe that the core issue inherent in all of these problems is that of individualism, as this individualism occurs at the expense of social responsibility. It is no surprise that as people feel isolated and overwhelmed, they seek to fulfill their own needs, often in selfish ways, without regards for others. We constantly strive towards self-advancement, accumulation of wealth, materialistic acquisition, frequently only with ourselves in mind. However, even as we acquire wealth, status, and power, we feel dissatisfied, hopeless, and lost. We need to understand that our needs are closely related to the needs of our family, community, and the world. While it is important to focus on our uniqueness, personal and cultural, it is even more important to focus on our similarities. As humans, all of us need to feel accepted, safe, and secure. Every one of us needs to thrive and become part of a larger society. Last year, someone asked me if I was ashamed to admit that I am Mexican. You know, because of the migrant workers. These migrants, as I refer to them, are human. As I sit in the classroom, they work in the field, we share one soul. As Mexicans, but most importantly, as citizens of the world, we draw upon similar hopes, dreams, fear, and love. As Will Rogers put it, we are all ignorant, only on different subjects. By drawing on diversity, we begin to fill in the gaps of ignorance and somehow become more than the sum of the parts. Until today, we have been children, guided by our parents, teachers, professors, and others. As we leave this institution, we become the role models. We owe it to the generations that will follow to create a new and different path. I urge you to become caring persons, committed to the improvement of the world. We need to modify our philosophy of individualism, trying to change the environment to fit our own needs. We have to meet our needs by becoming socially responsible. We, the members of this graduating class, will serve the world as nurses, teachers, foresters, researchers, environmental scientists, biologists, psychologists, business persons, and much more. Now it is our choice. We can become successful in terms of wealth, power, and status, but remain empty in our souls. Or we can be truly successful, knowing that our lives are meaningful to our families, communities, and the world. I leave you with a quote from a gift that I received from one of my dearest friends, Ian Gilchrist, which sums up the essence of success. Successful is a person who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much, who has gained the respect of children, who leaves the world better than they found it, who has never lacked appreciation for the earth's beauty, who never fails to look for the best in others or give the best of themselves. Gracias y buena suerte.
Thank you, Cynthia. At this time, I would ask each of the following to stand and be recognized. Will all the parents, grandparents, spouses, partners, children, and significant others of today's graduates please stand? Without you, none of this point, I wish to introduce to you the person to whom UMFK will today award an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters. Mark D. Guerin was confirmed by the United States Senate and sworn in as the 14th Director of the Peace Corps in September of 1995. Since becoming Director, Guerin has worked to prepare the Peace Corps for the 21st century by building on the agency's proud legacy of service over the last 37 years. UMFK is no stranger to the Peace Corps movement. In 1997, the agency announced that the Fort Kent campus ranked 21st among all small colleges and universities in the United States in producing Peace Corps volunteers. At that time, it was reported that 215 UMFK alumni had joined the Peace Corps since it was founded in 1961. Guerin's highest priority is to support nearly 6,500 Peace Corps volunteers serving in 80 countries. He has also worked to create new opportunities for Peace Corps service. Peace Corps volunteers are now serving in South Africa and Jordan, and in late 1998, volunteers will begin work in Bangladesh and Mozambique. In addition, Mr. Guerin oversaw the return of Peace Corps volunteers to Haiti in 1996 after a 5-year absence. He has also launched the Crisis Corps, a program within the Peace Corps that allows volunteers and returned Peace Corps volunteers to provide short-term assistance to communities during humanitarian crises and natural disasters. Mark Guerin has visited volunteers in Poland, Ukraine, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, Swaziland, Nepal, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Paraguay, Samoa, China, Mongolia, and the Philippines. Coming to Fort Kent was a piece of cake after that. Domestically, Mr. Guerin has worked to strengthen the Peace Corps' ties to the thousands of Americans who make up the returned Peace Corps volunteer community. At 42, he brings to the Peace Corps an extensive career in public service. From 1993 to 1995, he served as Assistant to the President and Director of Communications, as well as White House Deputy Chief of Staff. He traveled extensively with President Clinton on overseas trips to Russia, Japan, the Middle East, Germany, Italy, and Ireland. During the 1992 presidential campaign, Mr. Guerin was Vice President Gore's campaign manager and was appointed Deputy Director of President-elect Clinton's transition team. He has also served as Executive Director of the Democratic Governance Association, Director of the Massachusetts Office of Federal Relations, Headquarters Press Secretary for Governor Michael Dukakis' presidential campaign, Press Secretary for U.S. Representative Robert J. Brandon of Massachusetts, and Chief of Staff for U.S. Representative Berkeley Vidal of Iowa. A native of Gardner, Massachusetts, Mr. Guerin earned a BA in Government cum laude at Harvard College in 1978 and a JD from the Georgetown University Law Center in 1991. He is married to Mary Perley Guerin, and they have 2 daughters, Madeline and Kathleen. May I ask Professor Hicks to join me at the podium, please? I'm going to read this diploma. The University of Maine at Fort Kent, to all the senior presidents, read, be it known, Mark D. Guerin, having rendered stewardship of extraordinary benefit to others, and having been recommended by the President and faculty of the University of Maine at Fort Kent, is hereby admitted to the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, with all the rights, the title, the privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining by the trustees of the University of Maine system. Congratulations. I'm going to ask Mark Guerin to reapproach the podium and ask Representative Doug Ahern to come back one more time.
On behalf of the Maine State Legislature, again, it's a privilege and honor to present to you this legislative sentiment, which I will read. State of Maine, be it known to all that we, the members of the Senate and House of Representatives, join in recognizing Mark D. Guerin commencement speaker for the 1999 graduating class at the University of Maine at Fort Kent, an honorary degree recipient. Ms. Guerin, the director of the Peace Corps since September 1995, has worked to create new opportunities for Peace Corps volunteers in South Africa, Jordan, Bangladesh, and Mozambique. He has traveled worldwide to visit volunteers and oversaw the return of the Peace Corps to Haiti in 1996 after a 5-year absence. He also launched the Crisis Corps program within the Peace Corps that allows volunteers to provide short-term assistance to communities during humanitarian crises and natural disasters. We send our greetings and best wishes to Mr. Guerin on this occasion, and be it ordered that this official expression of sentiment be sent forthwith on behalf of the legislature and the people of the state of Maine, signed by President of the Senate, Mark Lawrence, and Speaker of the House, G. Stephen Rowe.
It is now my great pleasure to introduce the commencement speaker, Director of the Peace Corps, Mark Guerin.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, parents, and friends. President Lyons, thank you very much for honoring me with this degree. It feels great to be the newest Bengal here in Fort Kent, and to be a proud member of the class of 1900 and 1999. I only regret one thing, the order of the format of speakers. Frankly, I resent it very deeply. But I had to follow Jane and Cynthia in their wonderful remarks to the graduations. We thank them for their remarks and honor their distinguished work here as students. I'll try to do my best from here on out. I'm truly honored to be invited as the commencement speaker for this 117th commencement at the University of Maine at Fort Kent. And I wish to convey my congratulations to all the graduates here for your hard work on this important day. With your strong environmental program here, a top quality nursing program, an education school that has produced leaders in this part of the country for more than a century, a school-wide emphasis on languages and a recognition of the strength and importance of culture. UMFK graduates have many important skills that the rest of the world sorely needs. All of you have worked very hard to get to this point, and you certainly deserve everyone's highest praise for your accomplishment. Growing up in Gardner, Massachusetts, I often heard about the abounding beauty here at the top of Maine. And with respect, don't tell any of my friends back in Massachusetts that I said this, but I think this is certainly one of the most magnificent spots in New England. It's no wonder that the people of St. John Valley chose, when they came here, to believe that they found paradise when they arrived. In many ways, I think they did. But as a Catholic, I try to do whatever priests tell me to do. So with that in mind, I promise to keep in mind the very wise advice that one priest gave to people that were about to deliver a commencement address. The priest said the following: think of yourself, commencement speaker, as the corpse at an old-fashioned Irish wake. They need you to have the party, but nobody expects you to say very much. So, with that in mind, sometime certainly in your life, maybe in the next month, or the next year, or perhaps 10 years down the line, those of you graduating here today will come up to you and ask, so who spoke at your college graduation? And I must say that it pains me a bit that you will not remember that it was Mark Guerin, Director of the Peace Corps, who delivered your commencement remarks. Trust me on this. But sometimes, just sometimes, people remember what is said at their commencement ceremony, even if they can't recall who exactly said it. And that, at least, is my hope for today. While I'm here to offer my congratulations on the hard work, as well as some reflections as you prepare for this next stage in your life, let me first say a word to the families and friends of the present recognized of today's honored graduates, to the parents and grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and everyone else. I just ask you one thing. For the rest of the weekend, you should promise me one thing. Do not ask the graduates what they're going to do next. At least give them through the weekend so they're demanding a response to that question. Because the answer to the question, especially for this class of 1999, is becoming ever more difficult. A generation ago, people tended to graduate from college, ease into a full-time job, stay with that company for what was their entire career, and retire with a gold watch and a pension. But today, the world around us is constantly changing and accelerating at a pace that often boggles the mind. Experts say that many of you who are graduating today will change careers 7 times in your life, not jobs, careers. The next 10 years are likely to bring as much technological change as the last 40 years. 1,000 new books are published each day. Over 1 billion emails are sent each day. When President Clinton took office only 7 years ago, there were 55 websites on the internet. Today, experts say we're adding nearly 100,000 sites per day. So to the parents who will hopefully understand that the answer to the difficult question, what are you going to do next, is frequently, I'm not sure yet. I urge you to relax. Your family members are just keeping pace with the times in which they live. But it's a particular honor for me to be here as the director of the Peace Corps, because the Peace Corps, as the President has said, UMFK and Maine generally have had such a long-standing and productive relationship. Nearly 1,100 citizens of Maine have served in the Peace Corps since President John F. Kennedy founded in 1961. Today, more than 60 people from Maine are serving proudly around the world. Some of you in the audience may know our former colleague at the Peace Corps, my friend Carol Bouchard, who attended school here, served as a country director in the African nations of Burkina Faso and Senegal, and later went on to a senior regional director position at Peace Corps Washington. So I'm delighted to be here at this very fine academic institution at the edge of our country and at the edge of this new century to perhaps offer some reflections. I have 2 thoughts that I hope you might keep in mind. First, as you leave this campus today, I urge you to begin to take the long-term view of life. Second, in order to be a citizen in the next century, you must learn to serve. Let me explain what I mean by the long-term view first. It's common for commencement speakers to come up to the podium and give a fiery oratorio that you should make every day count. Carpe diem, seize the day, they'll tell you, and never look back. And while I agree with this sentiment in some respects, I firmly believe in today's world, with 24-hour news cycles, with pizza in 30 minutes, and instant access to the internet, that we often don't put enough emphasis on perspective. No matter where you are or what you're doing, find some time to find a little perspective to your work and to your life. Why do I say perspective? Well, I think having some perspective allows you to place your decisions, your actions, and your responsibility in some context before their immediate impact on you and your families. In our world of high-speed access and instant gratification, it's important to look down the road for your inspiration. In the Peace Corps today, which is enjoying a resurgent interest, and this year we'll have more volunteers around the world than at any time in 25 years. I see people from all 50 states, all across the globe, all with the goal of making a difference. They come from rural and urban areas. They hold degrees in everything from biology to French, with French speakers being highly sought after these days in the Peace Corps. They're young and they're old. What they have in common, however, is a deep commitment to help change and improve the human condition. But as every Peace Corps volunteer will tell you, to make a difference, it takes time. One Peace Corps volunteer can't build a water well in one day. She needs to work with the people in her village and make sure they take ownership of the well, so that when she returns home, they can care for it themselves in the years that follow. To do this, she needs to earn the trust of her villagers. And that's the kind of building of relationships that become the foundation for peace. Taking the long view of life also allows you to keep your mistakes in perspective. Each one of you will make mistakes. Like all of us who have a few extra years and, regrettably, a few extra pounds under our belts, you will fall down sometime along the way. The key is to keep things in perspective. Success really is error-driven. But I can assure you that in the long run, what you will be remembered for is not falling down, but for how you get back up on your feet. Let me give you one example. There was a man who was determined to serve as a public official. He ran for the state legislature and lost. He ran for Congress and lost. He ran for the Senate and lost twice. He even tried to get himself appointed as a land grant official, and he was rejected. But this man was convinced that he had something to offer in public service. He did not give up after his failings, and he kept trying. He got back on his feet. He got himself elected as President of the United States. So you see, even Abraham Lincoln, who was perhaps our greatest president, had to take the long view of life. The second thing I want to say has to do with service and the important role it plays in the lives of all of our citizens in the next century. Muhammad Ali used to say, "The service you do for others is the rent you pay for the time you spend on earth." Well, as we enter the 21st century, the importance of service to our society will become ever more vital. Over the course of the next 8 months, the last of this century, there's sure to be interesting ones for all of us. There'll be countless television specials about the great lessons of this century, how it's been a century that's been ravaged by the tragedies of war and conflict, but also how it has experienced some of the great advances in science and technology and culture that the world has ever seen. That's particularly important for our graduates today, because you are the future. You will influence our nation's agenda and help advance our interests here at home and around the world. Today, with respect, most of the people in Augusta and Washington who are making the decisions affecting you, our graduates, are already thinking about their retirement years. Their lives are half over. In many ways, yours are just beginning. And you have many, many more opportunities ahead of you. And in this wonderful time of economic prosperity and relative peace, we must not lose sight of one trait that will be critical in the next millennium. I'm talking, of course, about the ideal of service. Because citizens in the next century must be people who reflect on the spirit of service that has been such a rich part of our own country's history and the character of our people. President Clinton has said, "The era of big government is over, but the era of big citizenship is not." We should remind ourselves of what President John F. Kennedy said in his inaugural address, just about 2 months before he created the Peace Corps. "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." Those words still echo with us today. But our country and our communities need something different than what they did in my generation or in my parents' generation. You're graduating into a world of unlimited opportunities. Unlike your parents or your great-grandparents or your parents' generation, who suffered through the trials and the tribulation of depression, of war, and social upheavals, you're graduating into a time when our country's power and prosperity is unrivaled, and we're grateful for that. But with all of the opportunities that stand before you, I urge you to think about that rent that you must pay for your time on this earth. Thousands of others in your generation have taken the opportunity to join the Peace Corps, America, or Teach for America, or some of the other important organizations that promote community service and development. I encourage you to be part of this service movement in our country and to incorporate service and volunteerism into an everyday part of your life. Our country needs you to stay active in local affairs, to be an important part of this civil society that keeps American democracy working. This is the ideal that has driven one of my great heroes in life and one of Maine's most distinguished public servants, Senator George Mitchell. Senator Mitchell has accomplished many things in his life, to be sure, but none is as close to my heart as the leadership that he and President Clinton brought to the peace process in Northern Ireland. While many people, myself included, consider Senator Mitchell a bit of a miracle worker, he brought the two sides together in the old-fashioned way by devoting his time, his energy, his humanity to a process that he was determined to make succeed. Indeed, he took the long-term view of the process and combined it with his personal commitment to service. As Senator Mitchell himself said, the greatest rewards in life come from doing good for others. The challenge for all of us, though, is how do we make service an everyday part of our civic life? This means getting involved in local organizations that perform important community service. Big Brother, Big Sister, the League of Women Voters, the Northern Maine Medical Society, Medical Center, Rotary Club. This means volunteering in your local school to help a child learn to read, perhaps, or sandbag the riverbank when the St. John's decides to flood. It can also mean, of course, if you'll forgive me, that you can join the Peace Corps, travel overseas, learn another language, and live in another culture, and help people build a better future for their family and their communities. We would do well to recall the words of someone American who taught us more than many others about the value of service. Dr. Martin Luther King had this to say about service. Everybody can be great because everyone can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know about Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know about the second theory of thermodynamics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul regenerated by love. Years from now, when you're sitting on the front porch, sipping on a cool lemonade, reflecting on what I hope will be a life well lived, the question will be, what will matter the most? Will it be the wealth that you have acquired? I doubt it. Your social status? Probably not. The car in the garage? Certainly not. No, I'm confident that what will matter the most to you is if you can say to yourself with truth and conviction and a sense of humility that you've contributed something to our society, that you've given back, that you've made a difference by serving others. We've talked today about some weighty issues and some tall tasks to take the long view, to get some perspective in life, and remember that as a 21st century citizen, we need you to serve others. But armed with your degrees and experience of life, certainly you are ready to take on the challenges ahead of you. And looking out at the graduates, the leaders into the next millennium, It only reaffirms the confidence that I have in our country's future. Your generation is a sense of hope and optimism for all of our country. And you have the right tools to balance both idealism and a pragmatism to tackle and solve some of the important problems and challenges our country and our world faces. The responsibility, of course, is awesome, but the opportunities are limitless. The world now belongs to all of you. Take good care of it. Good luck and Godspeed on your journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Garrett, very, very much. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dean of Academic Affairs, Carol S. Brown.
Thank you, President Lyons. And it is now my pleasure to address the candidates. Will the candidates for degrees please rise? Mr. President, these candidates have successfully fulfilled all of the requirements prescribed by the faculty and the Board of Trustees for their respective degrees. On behalf of the faculty, I now present them to you and request that you admit them to their degrees.
One of the things you've learned in your years with us is to improvise, if we are about to. Please bear with us just for a moment. If you'd like to sit down, please feel free to do so. We'll tell you as soon as we're ready. Please be seated. We are going to take just a minute to put them back in order and then we'll proceed. Thank you. Those of you who were at the dinner last night know why I'm tempted to say, Lisa Martin, where are you when we need you? Will the candidates for degrees please rise again? Thank you.
Will the candidates for degrees please come forward? Associate of Arts in Business, Corinne Willett. Ryan D. Pelletier in abstention. Sonia M. Forward in abstention. Jacob Mark Robichaud in abstention. Tracy L. Guzin in abstention. Computers, Daxton G. Pies in abstention. Susan J. Kazak. Criminal Justice, Jeremy L. Donovan, A.S., in abstention. Lisa R. Durrett, in abstention. Amy G. Levac, in abstention. Lori Levac, A.A., Omicron Pi, in abstention. Peter Benjamin Michaud, in abstention. In Human Services, Steve Norman Babin, in abstention. Mary Ann Stella Berry. Kathleen Elizabeth Powers, Omicron Pi. Amber Teresa Fitzpatrick, AA. Ria J. Lagasse, AA, in abstention. Denise Lorette Michaud, in abstention. Teacher A, Melissa Lee Johnson. Shelley Jean St. Clair Rayner. Associate of Science in Forest Technology, Michael N. Daigle, in abstention. John Paul Metzier. Peggy Ann Inette, B.S., in abstention. Kathy Marie Thibodeau. Paul B. Toomey, Omicron Pi. Bachelor of University Studies in Education. Nadine Robbins Archibald. Carolyn Janet Bugnan, in abstention. Annette Michelle Burke, cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Caldwell. Ryan Timothy Clancy. Christopher Patrick Coyle, in abstention. Margaret Adele Curtis. Dana Lynn Sear. Allison Dawn Davidson. Jason Peter Doucette. Patricia Ann Doyle, magna cum laude. Tanya Lynn Eswick, in McIntyre. Lisa Nicole McKay. Steve John McKay. Kimberly Teresa Martin. Erwin O'Brien in abstention. Mark Andre Poloni. Joan Prendergast. Craig Lee Ramsey. Linda Lauren Rideout in abstention. Rachel Ross in abstention. Jennifer Ann Secor in abstention. Stacy Rosalind Simpson. Lisa L. Stewart in abstention. Adrian Marie Welch cum laude in abstention. Karen L. White. Joanne Teresa Wilsack in abstention. Bachelor of University Studies in French, Debbie Ann Couture. Bachelor of University Studies in University Studies, Maurice Levanier, AA in abstention, Irene Babin Messenger, summa cum laude in abstention, and Jeffrey Lamar Reno in abstention. Bachelor of Science, Behavioral Sciences, Anthony L. Parent. Bachelor of Science in Biology, Jeremy Lee Desjardins in abstention. Absalom Smith Dow, magna cum laude, honors scholar, Omicron Pi. Michael Christopher Sandco in abstention. Bachelor of Science in Business, Brantley Christensen, BSN cum laude. Rhonda Lynn Young. James Joseph Collada Jr. Malik Peter Corey, summa cum laude. Science in Elementary Education, Samuel Cleve Crutchfield, cum laude. Tracy Lynn Sear. Jessica M. Duman, summa cum laude, Alpha Chi. Magna cum laude, Alpha Chi, honor scholar. Sarah Lee Martin. Scott G. Richardson in abstention. Lisa Martin Welch. Bachelor of Science in English. Don David Burby, honors scholar. David Guyon. Bachelor of Science in Social Science, Christopher M. Miller. Melissa Lynn Pelletier. Shannon Faith Deland, cum laude. Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Stacy Ann Barbagallo. Linda M. Beveridge, Nursing Honor Society in abstention. Brantley Christensen, B.S. cum laude, Nursing Honor Society. Lisa Herbert Martin, summa cum laude, Nursing Honor Society. Jane Marie Matilla, summa cum laude, valedictorian, Nursing Honor Society. Judith Louise Nicholson, summa cum laude, Nursing Honor Society. Angela Lynn Ripley in abstention. Kathleen Shaw Stern in abstention. Julie L. Toole, cum laude, Nursing Honor Society in abstention. Bachelor of Science in and Environmental Studies, Lori Jane Burby. Ron Bouchard, magna cum laude. Fred Charles Gallant II. Joy M. Netto, magna cum laude. Tammy Elaine Pelletier, AA, BS, in abstention. Dawn Marie Skyler. Bachelor of Arts in Behavioral Sciences. Amber L. Arbor, in abstention. Cynthia R. Mayer, summa cum laude, salutatorian, Alpha Chi. Tammy Bernier, AA, summa cum laude.
Thank you, Dean Brown. Will the graduates please rise? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby admit you to the degrees of Associate of Arts, Associate of Science in Forest Technology, Bachelor of University Studies, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Science in Environmental Studies, and Bachelor of Arts with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. I welcome you to the International Company of Educated Men and Women, and I enjoin you to wear your learning with modesty and to employ it always in the service of the people. Signify your possession of a university degree. You may now turn your tassels to the left. I proudly present to you and to the community, state, and nation, the class of 1999. May I ask that the University Community Chorus please lead us in the alma mater.